Do you guys remember a Slayer Master called Neve, and she had this cave in the Gnome Stronghold with a bunch of different Slayer monsters inside of it? Well, it's all gone, okay? It's all gone. Today is Thursday, which means it is Update Thursday on Old School RuneScape, and today's update is the Diverse Dungeons update, thanks to Mod Ronan. Love you, buddy. Anyways, Neve's new cave has now been changed completely. The cave is new. You guys remember that cave that had like 60 different monsters in it? Well, that's different. Now, instead of everything being in Neve's cave, there are a bunch of new caves in the game that have been added to different areas, such as Castle Wars and Alcarid, that now house different types of monsters, which you can do on your Slayer tasks. I'm going to go over where these caves are and what monsters are housed inside of these caves, because what they pretty much did is, so there was a huge random amount of monsters in Neve's cave before, and what they did now is they sort of house these new monsters that are sort of alike in these new caves. For example, in the Chasm of Fire, you can now find the Lesser Demons, Greater Demons, and Black Demons, and this is on Zeah. They've added a new Caliphite cave to house more Caliphites and Alcarid, things like that. So pretty much what we're going to do is just go over these new caves, what monsters are inside of them, because some of the areas actually have changed substantially, and there's actually completely new dungeons in the game for the first time ever, which is pretty cool. So with all these new dungeons coming out, what is actually left in Neve's cave? Well, actually, there's still a bunch of things left in her cave. Once you start out, once you climb down the ladder, you're still going to find those Bloodvelds, you're going to find Ankus, Aberrant Specters, Hellhounds, Fire Giants, and also access to Brimstill's cave, which is pretty neat. And this is still a very useful place to go for Slayer tasks. The thing is, they're just adding a bunch of new areas that include a lot of these other monsters as well. So it's just useful. Again, this is still going to be mainly Neve's cave. It's just a brand new layout. It's sort of crazy when you think about it. It's pretty much a brand new cave, but it's the same. It's the same as it's still Neve's cave. It's brand new, and it's whoa. But yeah, that is the update to Neve's cave. Also, we have the Chasm of Fire, which is added to Zeah. In the northern end of the Shazen encampment, a worrying chasm has appeared. If you dare enter, you'll find yourself engulfed in the gloomy hordes of demons. Gloomy home of hordes of demons. Whoa. Anyways, you guys can find the Lesser Demons, Greater Demons, and Black Demons here. And what the cool thing is, it's a brand new area. It looks awesome. It looks sort of like it's just stacked. You go to 3 different levels of the cave. At the very top where the Lesser Demons, at the very middle are the Greater Demons, at the very bottom are the Black Demons. Brand new cave. We've never seen this one before. It's really neat because you can sort of see below and above you in the cave, which I find pretty awesome. The design work in this is really cool. You guys can use the Fairing DJR, which pretty much bring you right next to the cave, or to the chasm. It's pretty much right there. Just you have to go a little bit northwest to get there. But at the very bottom, at the Black Demons, I found this like weird cowbell looking wearing cow thing, sort of an evil demon guy, maybe used in a future questline, which I find pretty cool, but I thought he looked pretty awesome. Don't really know why he's there, but yeah, anyways, that is the Chasm of Fire, which houses those 3 demons. The Taverly Dungeon has had a Black Dragon expansion, which this one I actually really like. What they did with a lot of these is that you don't necessarily just go somewhere and then you're in a new place. With this, actually, with the Taverly Dungeon one, you just climb up a set of stairs and you just run along this path that's on top of a wall. You can still see the original Taverly Dungeon there, but you're just sort of running to a new area, which I found really cool. But anyways, with this new Black Dragon expansion, you can find yourself some small Black Dragons, some baby Black Dragons along the way. And then once you get to the main cave, you're going to find yourself a lot of new Black Dragons. So Black Dragons should honestly never be packed in with how many there are there. You're going to find dozens there. They'll never be packed, and it's actually not even too far from a bank, so it could be pretty useful for the future for if you're looking to make money or you just have these on task and you want to get them out of the way really quick. But yeah, nice little expansion to Taverly Dungeon. South of Piscatoris, you're going to find a new Kraken Cove, so pretty much you just have to go there. In this damn cave, you're going to find yourself a number of Water Fiends, a Cave Kraken, as well as a bunch of other Krakens in the cove itself. It's pretty much exactly like the Kraken Cave you remember from Neve's Cave, just a little bit bigger, I think, but the room where you kill Kraken is the same. The Water Fiends areas are sort of separated from everywhere else in the cove, and you can just kill them there really easily, but nobody really kills Water Fiends. I mean, maybe you do, I don't know. But as I said, this is pretty much the cave you remember, just a little bit out of the way now, south of Piscatoris. There is a fairy ring right next to it that you have to take. That'll pretty much, like I said, bring you pretty close to it. You just have to run west from the fairy ring, and yeah, that's the new Kraken Cove. Just east of the Shanty Pass, we have the new Caliphite Hive, and this is pretty much the exact replica of the Caliphite area from Neve's Cave, except it's now been relocated to the Caridian Desert, like I said, just outside of the Shanty Pass. So pretty much you get out of the Shanty Pass, use your pass to get out there, and just run a little bit east, and you're gonna find yourself at the dungeon, the Caliphite Hive. It's exactly the same thing as in Neve's Caves, like I said, but it's just now east of Shanty Pass. On top of being relocated, there are also some more spawns in the area as well to stop it from being so crowded, I guess. One dungeon that I rarely visit anymore is the Brimhaven dungeon, mainly because if you have an Iron or Steel Dragon Sass, you would just simply go to Neve's dungeon because they're there. It's really convenient. Closer to the bank, you don't have to walk all the way to the dungeon itself. But with those dragons gone from Neve's Cave, the Brimhaven dungeon is now now one of the best places to kill them. That's why they added the Brimhaven expansion. So pretty much what you guys can do to get to the dragons really quickly is if you go west of Taibowanai, there should be a little hole in the ground. You guys will see the exclamation mark on your main map, which means obviously that there's a dungeon there. And if you pay the woman there, her name's like Banasach, if you pay her 5,000 trading sticks, which is a one-time fee, you now have access to the hole in the ground, which will bring you exactly to the dragons in the Brimhaven dungeon. So if you go to the western part of where the iron and steel dragons are in the main part of the dungeon, there will be another entrance to a larger area where you can access iron dragons, bronze dragons, and then also a lot of steel dragons. So you can take this new entrance if you want. You can also go the other way if you want as well. This is just faster. It's only 5,000 trading sticks, which is very cheap. You can just buy those trading sticks on the Grand Exchange if you really want to. But yeah, definitely a lot more convenient, and Brimhaven will see a lot more activity with that update. The Slayer dungeon in Mauritania, so north of Caliphite, has a basement now, and in this basement you guys can find bloodvelds, gargoyles, abyssal demons, and neckreels. So pretty much just an expansion of the whole Slayer tower itself, except now there's a lot more spawns in the basement. So you can't cannon down here. It's still single way. It's just a lot more of them are down there. They're pretty much in each corner. So if you guys are, really desperate, if every other place is crowded, you can come to the Slayer dungeon where you can find more of these. And finally, we have the Smoke Devil dungeon, which has been relocated to south of Castle War. So just like the Caliphite Hive, it's been unchanged pretty much. The only thing about the Smoke Devil dungeon is that it said that there's a new lick of paint, so it's going to look a little bit different, but the layout remains unchanged. The boss is still there, all the spawns are still there, pretty much exactly the same. The area just looks a little bit, I guess, nicer now. So this update is definitely an interesting topic of discussion. I'll let you guys sort of discuss in the comments. Let me know if you guys think this is a good idea. What I think a lot of people wanted with the Slayer skill, and what apparently the Slayer skill was supposed to originally mean was, hey, I got this task, I have to go travel to a faraway land, I have to go travel somewhere on the map to kill this specific creature. That's sort of what made Slayer unique. And then when Neve's dungeon was added, when a couple other things were added, all these spawns were added to different areas of the map, it made Slayer a bit just like, okay, I have this one area, I can get all my tasks done in it, and then, fast Slayer XP and stuff like that. Neve's dungeon was a bit like, why is there 20 different creatures in here that I can kill in my Slayer task? Slayer is more like, hey, I should travel to this area of the map and be able to kill this Slayer monster there. That's the whole point of it. So that's, I think, what they want to do with this update. They want you to travel to different areas on the map to access these different creatures that you can get and kill for your Slayer task. So I think it's pretty cool. I like it. Obviously, the new areas I think are pretty awesome, and I want to get your guys' opinion on that. What do you guys think? And finally, we have in other news, the 2017 Easter event has been removed. The current demo mode season has come to an end, and the seasonal worlds have been closed. So congratulations if you guys got top 2,000. And finally, I think the big one for the other news is the Lunar Spellbook has been rearranged. So prior to this update, there was a bunch of level 60, 70 spells at the end of the Lunar Spellbook, and those are now placed in order, correctly in the spellbook. So they actually are in between the level 60, 70 spells and stuff like that, which some people are quite annoyed with because they liked the layout prior and they had to get used to this new one. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. It's not a game breaker. People get used to it after a day or two. But yeah, I guess another topic of discussion right there. So if you guys have any interesting things you want to point out about today's update, or you want to criticize it or just discuss it in the comments below. And yeah, I look forward to reading that. Anyways, guys, thank you guys all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good one, and peace.
Wow.